So, hi everyone. My name is Renee Jackson. I'm a sociologist in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology here at Agnes Scott. I teach classes in also interdisciplinary classes in Africana Studies and in the Summit curriculum, but also disciplinary classes in sociology on race, ethnicity, urban inequality is another area. That largely follows my research, which focuses on immigrants from the Caribbean and Africa. I study contemporary post-1965 immigration and also neighborhood inequality. Let's see, what was some of the hats that I wear on campus? Lots of different hats. I'm chair of the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. I'm also faculty coordinator for Global Learning in Summit. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the Soc-Amp major or Africana Studies or Global Learning. And a fun fact, okay, let's see. So what was my dream job when I was, what was it, when I was in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am, let's see, I think when I was in high school, I wanted to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, right? And it's not because I was a football fan or because I'm a football fan. I am a child of the 80s and a big television watcher, and I was a Dallas fan. And so I wanted to either be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader at first, like Charlene Tilton, or I thought I was going to be an executive, some sort of woman executive walking around in heels and a pantsuit. And I am neither of those things. But when I got to college, I studied English at first. I was an English major because I thought I wanted to go into teaching. But then I discovered sociology. So I've been doing that ever since. I'll pass it on to Dr. Fonts.
Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Fonts. I'm an associate professor of chemistry. I teach organic chemistry and primarily biochemistry and introductory chemistry every once in a while. I also am the associate vice president for academic affairs, and my research involves looking at the biochemistry and genetics, so sort of on both sides of chemistry and biology, of cell division and how it relates to cancer development. And I use this little model organism called Caenorhabditis elegans. In high school, I really thought that I wanted to play in the NBA, and that was my career aspiration. But I stopped growing at 5'11", and I wasn't very good, and so that died really quickly. And I'll pass it on. I'm not sure who is next after me.
It's me.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Professor Morris, and my dog Jojo has a lot to say too, so sorry about that. She joins my classes pretty regularly as well. I teach in the history department. There's two Morrises. I'm the history Morris. The other one is political science. And I teach modern US history, Southern history, public history, which is museums, archives, things like that. And yeah, so next semester I'll be teaching, just to give you an example of the classes, immigration history, a class called Old South, New South, No South, and the class called History in the Community, which this time we'll look at the history of inclusion and exclusion at Agnes Scott College. So I'm really excited about that. We dig into the archives of our own story. So other hats I wear on campus, I'm on a few faculty committees, including curriculum committee. So it's up to, I'm the first round to decide what you take and what needs revision. And I'm also a mentor. Everyone in the history senior seminar gets a faculty mentor. So I get to read a lot of that research that they're doing, and I'm so excited about what they're doing right now. My research, I have a book coming out hopefully next year if I get the final manuscript off in the next week. Pray for me. Is called Goldwater Girls to Reagan Women, about women's work building the new right in Georgia from the founding of Republican women's clubs by Black women. in 1950s through the defeat of the Equal Rights Amendment in 1980. I remember in 7th grade, one of our vocabulary words was curator and registrar. And I was sort of attracted to those careers. I did work in a museum prior to coming to Agnes Scott. And I also wanted to be a poet. And I think I've written one decent poem in my lifetime. Pass it on to Professor Whitworth.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's great to be here. I am an assistant professor of women's gender and sexuality studies, and I think this is my 5th year at Agnes Scott. Let's see, roles that I serve, primarily teaching, and I teach an array of classes this semester. For example, I'm teaching Intro to Queer Studies, and I'm also teaching an LDR 101 course that is focused on, it's called Sit-ins, Kiss-ins, and Die-ins, and it's focused on contemporary LGBTQ and feminist activism in the US. So we've been talking about different groups like the Combahee River Collective, which was part of the second wave of feminism. One of my favorite groups. They're kind of the linchpin for the class. And then let's see, other courses that I teach, most of the faculty at Agnes, many of us teach in joint kind of cross-listed courses. So I often will teach courses that are also cross-listed in film and media studies, and also sometimes environmental and sustainability studies. I teach most of the core courses in WGS, so Intro to WGSS. Next semester I'm teaching intersectional research methods. Those are some of the main ones. Let's see, my research focuses on both LGBTQ film and media studies. So I teach some upper level electives like queer and trans film theory, and have written articles about filmmakers, contemporary filmmakers. And then also I'm writing a book about LGBTQ back to land groups and environmental groups currently. So I've also taught classes like environmental feminisms, and courses on the Anthropocene, which is a sort of fancy word for the geological moment we're in right now where humans have impacted the environment. And outside of teaching and mentoring and advising students, I also, like the other faculty who spoke, serve on committees. For example, this summer I was involved with the Pride Planning Committee and also the Instructional Planning Task Force with Dr. Jackson. We saw lots of each other this summer as we faculty tried to help come up with different plans for us to be prepared for this fall semester. Also, Dr. Morris was just one of the folks in charge for an emerging, Engaging Global Challenges conference that was focused on voting. And I'm on the planning committee for next year. And our focus is going to be on climate justice.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that too.
You did. It was just last week. And then my dream job, I wanted to be a travel and food writer. I was an English undergrad and art history undergrad. And I also thought it would be cool to be like Siskel and Ebert and be a film critic. So I got pretty close to the mark on the film critic. Not as famous, nowhere near as famous as they are, but you know, I'm working on it.
Professor Whitworth, you're famous to me. So